He's late. I'm not late. A wizard arrives precisely when he intends. Alright, so it's been a little bit since I've actually been streaming. I've finally achieved Nirvana by not streaming for like 5 days, but we're back. And we will be streaming. Techmarine is probably coming out tomorrow on the PTS, if you guys are unaware. Where am I even hearing? Yeah, Techmarine is probably coming out like tomorrow, guys, so get hyped. Let me put this in. So what we're going to do today is, well, when I say come out, I mean PTS is probably coming out tomorrow. But what we will be doing today is, what's up, Osborne? Not like the official release, only the PTS. Because the PTS come out at the end of January, and if we look at the prior PTS release schedules, PTS almost always comes out on like a Tuesday. And this is the last week of January, so it makes sense that tomorrow will be the official release, so I'll probably be on for that. And then, well, I'll definitely be on for that if it's the release, but maybe. We'll see. We don't know for sure yet. We know Techmarine comes out in a few weeks, but, let me send it in. What's up, Inquisitor? What's up, Door? Are you guys excited? Today is the day. So what we're going to be doing today is I want to break down the actual perk tree on the Techmarine first off. I did not cover that as much in the video I made today. What's up, Inquisitor? What's up, James? What is up? Thoughts on the perks? Yeah, we're going to go through all the perks. So the perks are like 99% the same as the ones we had on the official leak in June, so they didn't really change much. My biggest worry for Techmarine currently, you know, if we just pull up the article real quick, my biggest worry for Techmarine currently is that Techmarine will underperform in terms of like survivability. We have to break down all the perks here. We'll do that in a second. I'm just going to read through them real quick. I don't see any. This is all what we saw on the leak stuff here. So we have designated target, we have augmented ammunition feed. We'll go through these one by one in a second. I'm just trying to make sure there's, just before I say nonsense, that there is no direct health increase or damage reduction on this class, because that's a pretty bad thing if that's the case. What's up? It's just unknown. Hello from Germany. What's up, Nikki? What's up, Osborne? What's up, Mighty Miles? Yes, I'll be playing in a couple of weeks. Here's the hoping. Yeah, L for us console plebs. No, don't worry about it. So, yeah, I don't see any source of HP increase, which is kind of unfortunate. Because if we look at the, let's just go into the actual game real quick. So if we look at the classes that are available in-game, every single class in Space Marine 2 has, like, a Fortitude health increases by 15%. On the Heavy class, we have this as well, with Fortitude here for a 30% health increase. This is on Assault as well. This is also on the Vanguard class in his Prestige perk tree. And this is also on the Bulwark, obviously, with his starting perk. And then we also look over here on Sniper. What's that? He is the only other class in the whole game that does not have a Fortitude perk of any kind, but he also has a Conviction that lasts 15 seconds. And we look at the Techmarine perk tree real quick again. Hold up. Where the fuck are you? You are. What's up, Wombat Combat? How you doing, Wombat? Howdy, cousins. If we look up the Techmarine perk tree here, I mean, Chained Headshots is literally just the Acuity perk on Tactical put on the Techmarine class. Revive Surge is garbage. This perk should just be entire. Like, I don't even have to play the Techmarine to know this class ability is garbage. When the Techmarine revives a squad member, both gain 15% faster ability charge regeneration for 10 seconds. Are we fucking serious right now? How much will that actually come out to? Stim boost, Medicaid Sentence for 40% more health. This is good. Defensive stance is just scramble targeting. Blast radius is just the is it even called? I think these are literally just renamed, because if we look at this one right here, like material upgrade is the exact same perk as blast radius. So like, what are we doing? These are just copy pasted perks. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I'm not surprised that Saber copy pasted some perks, but that's a little lame. A volatile sentry seems kind of neat, depends how much damage it actually does. And Furious Gunstrike. After using Gunstrike, melee damage increases by 25% for 5 seconds. This one could be very cool. Like, this is one I'm actually looking forward to using because 25% melee damage buff, if this is a multiplicative bonus for like 5 seconds after every Gunstrike and your Gunstrikes are automatic, that could up your damage a lot. Like, we know this class has Power Axe, we know it has the combat knife and stuff like that. That could be pretty cool. Class looks powerful, but the reusing perks is kinda, yeah, that's how I feel, Clubsguard. I definitely agree with you there. Why did the devs mention this on the Discord or in their latest update post then? What are we talking about? That it was gonna be coming out tomorrow? I mean, that just makes sense. I mean, we already know on from the Discord that it's coming out at the end of January, so like the timeline for the PTS release is a guaranteed 5-day timeline, so saying it's probably gonna come out tomorrow based on previous stuff, I don't think that's that crazy at all. Techmarine's fatalities are so juicy. Yes, they are. He has a lot of melee damage bonus. I think he's going to hit like a truck. Yes. He also has the Power Axe, and the Power Axe is an absolute behemoth of a weapon. So we also know for a fact now that the 3 upcoming heroic weapons are going to be 2 melee weapons and 1 ranged weapon. So guaranteed, pretty much. I would practically guarantee the classified version right here. It's gonna be a block, like a block fencing or balance heroic power axe of some kind. We're probably gonna find that out. And on top of that, we're probably gonna get a heroic variant of the Omni Cyan axe that's coming out because that just makes the most sense to me personally. I'll be surprised if we get a block Omni Cyan axe heroic. I think we will get a Omni Cyan axe heroic because it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to launch the new Techmarine and not have any heroic variants for him. That also grants the player base that has been grinding their accolades endlessly an opportunity to properly just sit there and get their Omni Cyan axe immediately and level up their class. Because in Space Marine 2, you know, if you saw my leveling guide that I recently posted, you can use a heroic immediately after. So that's pretty good. Sounds oh so juicy, just like your spam. All right, cap. Balance weapons should be named heretical. Heroic Melta incoming, maybe. Hey, FTG, is your PTS still in your Steam library? Mine is gone. You can still access it. They do hide it, though, because people are getting back on it. I think is why they do. But it'll be back. Anyways, we're going to go break down the perk tree on the... We're going to break down the perk tree on this class, and then we'll move on. So, number 1. Xbox article. For those of you who are unaware, we'll read it here. We have the brand new stuff. First up, with 3 Techmarines, playstyle. We saw the new servo gun mechanic. Servo gun looks pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, servo gun does look pretty cool. All of this is on minimal. Now, I saw some rumblings, grumblings from people saying that, like, oh, Tarantula Sentry guns are going to be absolute booty butt cheeks because this thing breaks in like 2 seconds. I call them fools because the thing is that we don't know for sure yet. We do not know for sure yet if the HP of these things scales with difficulty. Because if we look at perks like Intimidating Aura on Bulwark, like this perk is worse on lower difficulties than it is on higher difficulties. And Intimidating Aura goes up and up and up. It scales with difficulty. Same thing with the Diving Kick on Vanguard. I don't see why we would assume the Techmarine to be any different in that respect. Because to not have this thing move up. Hey, FTGs, oh, hold on. Any news on what heroics we might get? N7, we know they're going to be 2 melee weapons and 1 ranged weapon. Those are confirmed. What's up? Josh, the turret's exploding is a plus. Yes, the turrets will do damage. So, that damage might scale up on top of the fact that, I'm shocked because they said also, here, we'll just go over all of it. They said that you can have multiple Tarantula Sentry guns active at a single time. That means that despite the fact that one could blow up pretty easily, if they do a lot of damage on the explosion, if these things put out a lot of free damage, that's not too bad. And the big question here is how many Tarantula Sentry guns will actually be in the map? They might suck ass on the Siege mode. I will say that. They might suck ass on Siege mode, because Siege mode is just, you do not have time at a certain point to ever properly manage these. And Nito, Daitian, thank you for the tier 1 sub for 6 months in advance. Thank you very much, dude. And thank you very much, Nino the Noob Knight, for the Prime sub for 5 months. Thank you very much, dude. But as far as how these are going to perform, I think the Sentry Guns could be like a really nice additional bit of damage you can do. And if the explosion is good, because first off, they are taking enemies off of you. They are immediately drawing fire. This allows you to keep shooting them, to keep gun striking them, to keep killing stuff. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a negative because in Space Marine 2, sometimes you do just want to have the enemy to like attack you, like right here, where so there we see the automatic gun strike. So if you see here, let me just talk about this for a second. He gets a perfect dodge right here. Okay. And then the gun will fire off, and yes, that's an auto gun strike and shoots it in the face. That's pretty good. Being able to deploy distraction itself is useful even without damage. Yeah, so sometimes in Space Marine 2, you want the enemies to be attacking you because that is the way that you basically get a your parries off and stuff like that. Because otherwise you can't even gun strike them. Do you think we will get Iron Hands heraldry for the Techmarine update? Almost certainly. Almost certainly. Good evening. What's up, Atlantan? What's up? Okay. I'm praying the range heroic is for last Fusel. I think it'll only be as something on the Techmarine. I think every heroic weapon we see today, or tomorrow, or whatever the fuck they come out, is going to be for Techmarine. Because we're only getting 3. And I'm pretty sure they want this entire update to be Techmarine centric with the new operation. The new operation will be playable on the PTS as well. They have confirmed that. Alongside the fact they said the new DLC heads might also be playable. Now, we're going to go through this today. So we're going to talk about this. This is a good option. Hey guys, first regardsman here, and today I'll be talking about every single perk for the Techmarine that has been officially showcased for the upcoming class in patch 11. Oh shit. Hey guys, first regardsman here, and today I'll be talking about the brand new, fully revealed perk tree for the Techmarine class that is coming in patch 12 with the titular Techmarine update. Now, Saber Interactive released this like a couple hours ago. Now, most of these are the same from the leaks we had before. We're going through them here one by one. Let's give my opinion on them. So, first up, they go through here with the servo gun ability, unleash a powerful servo gun volley, and your starting perk is you can detect and activate tarantula sentry guns. They will attack nearby enemies until they run out of ammo or are destroyed. We have seen some gameplay of these already. They look pretty damn powerful, like not like super potent yet for damage, but they do blow up and damage enemies when they die, which is a pretty powerful tool in itself. There's also a prestige perk we'll get into that buffs up that damage later. Now, my overall opinion on the ability here is that the servo gun looks really fun. The servo gun looks like it could be potentially very strong, and it will automatically shoot guys with your gun strikes for you, leaving you open to keep doing melee attacks, which is pretty cool. There's also like a really cool synergy we'll get into later. So that is our main class perk ability. The first actual perk in the core tree we have here is Explosive Enfilade. After using did I even say that right? But either way, after using a equipment, your range damage increases by 15% for 10 seconds. This could be a really good, especially if you have a secure stockpile tactical on your team. Now, I do have a sneaking suspicion that secure stockpile will be nerfed in the upcoming patch because there's a few reasons I'll think about that. I'll get into. There are a few reasons I think that. There are a few reasons I think that we'll get into later, but for now, I think that's the way it's going to be. Now, this perk seems pretty decent, but the next one we have here is Arc Cleave. Damage from charged melee attacks increases by 25%. This perk is good. If this is just the overcharge perk, if it is a 25% multiplicative melee damage increase, this will be like a pretty much 24/7 take for me. The overcharge is one of the best perks on Assault and Bulwark. It's one of the most damaging abilities in the game. This should be the same on this class. And honestly, this guy has access to the Power Axe, Power Sword, Combat Knife, and the new Omni Scion Axe, so overcharge would be incredible on him. Great perk, almost guaranteed. Now, next up we have Explosives Adept. Damage from equipment increases by 20%. I'm not super interested in this one. I don't think direct damage bonuses to equipment matter that much because for the most part, you only hit like one breakpoint, which is a crack grenade on absolute difficulty or above, or like maybe hard stratagems, and then you can one-shot guys like a Zoanthrope with a crack. But for the most part, Melt Bombs already one-shot everybody outside like the highest waves of Siege, so I don't really think these are that good overall. But, they can be fun to use. Now, next up, we have the first team perk. This is Reinforced Reinforced Position. All team members within 15 meters of an active Tarantula Sentry Gun take 25% less damage, and they deal 15% more damage. Now, a flat 25% damage reduction on a Tarantula Sentry Gun within 15 meters, that's good. Like a 25% damage decrease for your entire team within 15 meters of these turrets you're going to be fighting around anyways. That is a strong perk effect. Flat damage reduction in Space Marine 2 is very rare. You really only find this on things like the Bulwark's Glorious Shield perk, which does make me think this would be pretty powerful. And getting to deal 15% more damage on top of that, which is a flat damage increase, also sounds very strong. So this might actually be one of the best options, depending on how strong the Tarantula Sentry guns actually wind up being. Now, next we have the first gear tree, which is, excuse me, oh, we went back. Here we go. First, oh, sorry. Okay. Enemies hit by the servo gun take 15% more damage for 10 seconds. This sounds great. Depending on how the cooldown of the servo gun actually goes, a 15% damage debuff to the enemies would be very strong for your entire team because most of the time in Space Marine 2, when you have a perk that reads like an X enemy takes 15% more damage for an amount of time, this will apply an actual debuff to the enemy that will affect not just your weapons, but your entire team's weapons. This could be very strong. I think this sounds like a pretty damn good perk. It does depend on what the cooldown of the servo gun actually is, but for now, my first impression would be it's a pretty good option. Now, next we have the augmented ammunition feed. Servo gun recharges 15% faster. I imagine it'd be pretty strong. We haven't gotten to the other gear options here, but for now, CDR in Space Marine 2 is always strong, and really in any horde shooter is quite powerful. It's gonna be no different here, I'm sure, unless it's like the maneuverability from or squad cohesion on the assault that does suck. Now, next we have the counter-offensive protocols. After using the servo gun, melee damage increases by 35% for 10 seconds. Now, if this is multiplicative, this damage buff is ridiculous. If it's an additive damage buff, it'll be okay. Either way, 35% is a chunky damage increase. 10 seconds is a very long uptime, and you should be using your servo gun periodically throughout your whole game. This is just gonna be a nice little drip feed for your Omniscion Axe, Power Axe. And this will also play further into the overcharge perk with Arc Cleave we have over here. So that's actually a pretty good option. And now we have the first signature perk, Decapitating Stratagem. Killing or incapacitating Majora's level or higher enemies with the servo gun regenerates its ability charge by 100%. The cooldown is 90 seconds. Now, killing or incapacitating is interesting because all you have to do is put them to execute with this, and they'll automatically recharge your servo gun. There is a precision enhancement we'll get into later, but that could be pretty strong. Like getting your servo gun back automatically with a 90-second cooldown. 90-second cooldowns are long in Space Marine 2. Being able to like one-shot a guy and get your entire regen back, that could be pretty decent. We'll have to see how this actually plays out in the PTS, though. Next up, we go back to the core tree here, Precision Enhancement. Oh, they went too fast. The servo gun now targets single dangerous enemies and fires powerful precision shots. This is basically just a sniper setting for your bolter gun here, servo gun, excuse me. This is just a sniper setting for your servo gun. This could be pretty strong. We don't know the actual damage numbers of these yet, but I assume that this will play pretty well into the first signature perk we had, and I am looking forward to this one in particular. Now, the next one we have here is Methodical Destruction. Enemies damaged by equipment take 25% more damage for 10 seconds. This could be decent on bosses because let's say you drop like a crack grenade on a Neurothrope or something, you drop a melted bomb on a Carnifex, and you get that entire damage increase for your whole team. Because, like I said before, usually these just apply debuffs to the enemy for your entire team, and that could be pretty strong. So I think this could be a pretty decent option. Now, next we have Push the Advantage. After a finisher, your melee weapon deals 20% more damage for 15 seconds. Now, once again, like I said, multiplicative damage increases with these are usually way better than additive, but either way, you'll be doing finishers all the time in Space Marine 2, no matter what. Saber Interactive did state that this class will be a bit more melee focused than range focused, so this could be a very strong option. And a 15-second uptime on a 20% melee damage buff on a finisher, I assume that it will reset itself every time you get a finisher. That's a pretty strong buff. Like, I'm not going to lie, a 15-second uptime in this game is pretty rare to find, and a 20% buff is fairly substantial, so it could be a pretty damn good perk. Definitely better than the other one up here. Now, this perk here sucks. This is called Battlefield Repairs. Excuse me, Battlefield Repairs. All team members fully regenerate their armor and gain one additional armor segment when using Medicae stims. This is just like, I don't know why they made this perk. I'm going to be honest. This one doesn't seem very good at all. When you take a look at perks like Focus Restoration on Bulwark, this one just loses entirely. Having, armor regen on stims and getting one additional armor, because, like, basically you're just getting an armor boost every time you use a stim, which could help you sometimes. Like, this would definitely save your life, but drip-fed armor restore is definitely better. Hopefully they buff this or like take a look at it, because my first impression is just it's not that good, because Medicae stims are not that present in the game. You really have to ask, how often are you actually going to be finding a stim? How often will this team perk actually come into effect? Not that often because your team isn't going to have as many sims as say like, the benefit you get from a team perk like inner fire or secure stockpile MSU, that kind of thing. So I don't like this one too much. Next up, we have Inexorable Salvo. While the servo gun is active, you do not lose control from heavy hits and you cannot be knocked back. This is just a no knockback perk effect. No knockback perk effects in Space Marine 2 are top tier pretty much wherever you can find them. This one's condition of having your servo gun active does kind of suck because I'd rather just have one on parry or gun strike and stuff like that, because those are usually a bit safer for you as a player because they aren't conditional on your actual class ability that has its own cooldown. But no knockback is strong. Not getting knocked back in Space Marine 2 is an incredibly powerful effect, and this one should be pretty good as well. Now, next here we have Augmented Tarantula. Tarantula Sentry Gun damage increases by 25%, and the ammo increases by 50%. How good this perk actually is depends on how good the Sentry Gun is. And if the Sentry Gun does a lot of base damage and gets a huge buff from a 25% increase on top of on top of running out of ammo on its own, this could be a pretty good perk effect. The one up here makes it so your servo gun comes back a little bit faster. That does sound better to me initially, but if the Tarantula Sentry Guns are strong, this one sounds like a pretty good perk. Next, we have Fortifying Salvo. Killing an enemy with a servo gun restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Now, the melee damage buff up here is very strong that we talked about previously, but also armor restore on a 30-second cooldown this game for servo gun kills. That's pretty decent. It does kind of suck. This is on a 30-second cooldown, though, because I think it should be like 15 seconds. If we take a look at classes like Heavy that have a 15-second cooldown for every single time you kill 7 enemies in a rapid succession with any weapon at all, that just sounds straight up better than this one. Also, Heavy's a tankier class, so maybe take a look at this cooldown. But for now, Armor Restore while drip fed in Space Marine 2 is incredible, and this should be pretty decent as well. Now, the next signature perk we have here is a Lethal Perimeter. The servo gun marks a zone and automatically attacks enemies that enter it using 20% energy per shot. Using 20% less energy per shot. This could be pretty strong. I'm not really sure how this is going to be different from the standard servo gun because the servo gun on its own already has an AI control targeting system. So maybe you have a bit more of a manual activation of this, but 20% less energy per shot, more uptime on your class abilities, usually pretty good in Space Marine 2, but the servo gun's power is dependent on which variant you take. There's also going to be a plasma version we'll get into later, but so far the signature perks sound a lot better than the team perks do, except for like this first one, but this doesn't sound too bad at all. Now, next we have Plasma Enhancement. The servo gun now fires exploding plasma projectiles at enemies. This is going to be the main crowd control version, I'm pretty sure, because the Plasma Enhancement, we saw some images of this in the previous Xbox Wire article as well. I'm a big fan of Plasma. This basically just turns your servo gun up here into a plasma pistol, and being able to have this crowd control effect that they kind of mentioned previously could be pretty strong. Though personally, I might prefer the precision enhancement more, depending on how much damage it does. We'll get to test all of this in the test server pretty soon. Now, next we have Omnisci and Axe Deflection. After a perfect parry or perfect block, you will take 25% less damage from ranged attacks for 5 seconds. Now, this is pretty good. 25% less damage from ranged attacks is pretty strong. Range damage reduction does affect your armor, not just your HP. And a 5-second uptime is not like incredible, but you also do perfect parry and perfect block all the time in Space Marine 2. And usually in this game, when you have a 5-second uptime on a class ability like this, it will automatically reset itself on every single perfect parry and every perfect block. So reapplying this should not be very difficult at all. So it could be pretty decent, though a flat damage reduction would definitely be better, or a health damage reduction. This is still pretty good. Now, next after this, we have Long Range Barrage. Range damage at ranges greater than 20 meters increases by 25%. This perk doesn't sound that good. A 20-meter range requirement is just not that great in Space Marine 2. This class has a melee focus, like they said, so how often are you actually going to be sitting there to shoot at this distance? You also have to keep in mind, the Techmarine's loadout is an auto bolt rifle, a bolt rifle, an Oculus bolt carbine, a heavy bolt rifle, and the plasma incinerator. This just does not sound that good. And on the note of the loadout, the plasma incinerator is very dependent on the tactical's plasma boost perk to be strong, so it does sound to be a weaker option on this class in general, but the Oculus bolt carbine and bolt rifle are both pretty good for headshot damage, and this damage buff could be quite substantial, but a 20-meter requirement, I'm not sure if I like that much. Like 10 meters, 15 meters would feel a little bit better. 15 meters is like a better thing for if they buffed up the damage a bit, but my first impression on this is I would prefer the middle one here because it's like a way better damage for like how this class is going to play. Next up, we have the team perk Combat Squad Resupply. All squad members gain 1 additional equipment except for Melt-A-Bomb. So they don't want you to have 2 Melt-A-Bombs. And you might be thinking initially, okay, so why are we not getting an extra Melt-A-Bomb? Why is 2 Melt-A-Bombs so bad? Well, to me, it kind of sounds like the secure stockpile perk on the tactical class might be receiving a nerf here at some point, because if they are making sure that we don't get extra Melt-A-Bombs, they're probably aware secure stockpile is like the best team perk in the entire game right now. And if they're going to have that get nerfed and then leave this one the way it is, that would make a lot more sense, because as of right now, this one seems pretty good, just not remotely as good as secure stockpile. But like, additional equipment is a strong effect, especially since we have a lot of equipment regen in this game already. Now, next in the gear tree, we have Synergistic Arsenal, excuse me. Servo gun recharge rate increases by 25% when you are near a Tarantula Sentry gun. This is a pretty cool effect. You can build around with things like the reinforced position up here into Synergistic Arsenal, into the other buff for your Tarantula Sentry Gun, have like a Sentry Gun build. I'll probably try that out first in the new PTS that's coming out, but as far as having a better recharge rate in your Servo Gun, this is more substantial in the 15% up here, so it could be pretty strong. And like, I doubt the Servo Gun cooldown is going to be horrific, because if you look at class abilities in Space Marine 2 overall, things like Auspex Scan, things like the Bulwark Banner, these are generally way longer cooldowns than things like the Jump Pack are and the Vanguard's Grappling Hook, so hopefully the Servo Gun's kind of like in the middle there. So this could be pretty good. Next up, we have Replenishing Salvo. Oh, hold on. Go back. Killing an enemy with a servo gun restores an equipment. Cooldown is 90 seconds. This is your major equipment restore on this class. This is for things like Combat Squad Resupply on top of this. Every single class in Space Marine 2 usually has some kind of equipment restore, except for Bulwark, and they're almost always on a 90-second cooldown. So you have things like Consecutive Execution, you have the 60 seconds on Secure Stockpile, like I mentioned before, and you also have things like Consecutive Execution on the, not Consecutive Execution, Pattern of Excellence on the Sniper. They're a 30-second cooldown. But as far as like rapid succession, gear tree, core perk tree stuff, usually it is a 90-second cooldown. It's no different here. And killing enemies with your servo gun seems pretty easy, because this counts for any of them, including Minoris, so pretty good. And next we have the Strategic Gun Strike. Servo gun only targets Majora's level or higher enemies and deals 20% more damage when the target is more than 20 meters away. So that's kind of interesting that your servo gun can shoot a pretty far distance. Like 20 meters is not like ridiculous in Space Marine 2, but it's far farther than I thought that the Techmarine servo gun was actually going to fire. And if we take a look at the perk back here again, I'm not going to roll back the video, but the precision enhancement that basically turns your gun into a sniper shot, this is going to be a really fun synergy, because basically you could take this one, turn your gun into a sniper shot, go here, give it 20% more damage against enemies that are 20 meters away, depending on how accurate the servo gun actually is, and it will only target Majoris or higher enemies, so the enemies you actually want to be killing. And you can take the signature perk up here and have it be recharged instantaneously on killing an enemy every 90 seconds. That's pretty cool. That seems like a pretty fun build combination here, and for the most part, the perk tree overall, there are some issues I have with it, but I think it is definitely moving in the right direction. None of these perks are like aggressively bad to me, outside like a few examples. So I think this is a much better base perk tree than we've had some of the other classes, especially at launch. So great option here, and this perk seems pretty fun. Now, the final signature perk we have here is Omniscience Fury. Servo gun shots set enemies on fire. Okay, burning enemies in this game is incredible. Being able to light enemies on fire is a incredibly powerful effect. We see this with the Pyre Blaster, we see this with the Pyre Cannon. This could be one of the best signature perks in the entire game. We'll have to see how it actually functions in the PTS, but my initial response to this would be lighting enemies on fire is incredible, so this is probably going to be a top tier option. Now, that is everything in the actual perk tree. Like I said, I think they seem pretty decent. I am thinking like the build options here are pretty fun looking, but hopefully we do get like some changes in the PTS. And now, as far as the prestige perks go, these ones, this is where I'm a little disappointed. Okay, and I'll explain why. It's not because these are bad. Some of them are pretty good. If you look at chained headshots here, this is a good perk. Headshot damage increases by 3% per consecutive headshot, up to a maximum of 15%. The bonus lasts 5 seconds without landing a headshot. My issue here is not the perk effect. My issue is that if we go back in game real quick here, and we look at the tactical perk tree, this is literally just acuity here. Each consecutive headshot increases headshot damage by 3% up to 15%. The bonus lasts 5 seconds without a headshot. It's just a copy-pasted perk for the most part. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because this class does have the same weapons as tactical predominantly, especially the ones that benefit off of this perk, like bolt rifle, the heavy bolt rifle, and stuff like that. But copy pasting perks on a brand new class, I don't know. I think we kind of been like a little bit more creative than that. Next perk here is Revive Surge. When the Techmarine revives, a squad members both gain 15% faster ability recharge for 10 seconds. This perk sucks. Like, having to revive a team member to trigger your perk effects in this game is already like a super niche thing, because how often will the uptime of this actually be there? Not that often. And a 15% faster ability charge regeneration, that's just not a lot of value for a prestige perk at all, especially compared to things like Stim Boost. Medicae Stims restore 40% more HP. Once again, this is a copy-pasted perk effect from the tactical, where this is just resilience. We'll go back in and show that real quick. This is just resilience. Medicae Stims restore 40% more health. Now, I don't have a problem with this being copy-pasted. This is also on Bulwark, but 40% more HP off your stims, that is a strong perk effect. That is definitely a good option for this class, and hopefully it's going to have a bit of like a little bit of a change here at some point. But as far as my initial thoughts on this perk, it's pretty good. Like, I mean, anything that breaks the pickup economy of Space Marine 2 is a pretty strong effect. Usually having 40% more HP makes your stims more valuable, and pickup economy is a huge portion of this game, so good perk effect, even though it's copy-pasted. Next up, we have a Volatile Sentry. Sentry turret explosion damage increases by 40%. This perk could be shit or it could be incredible. It depends on how good the explosion damage of a sentry gun is. And also, we don't know for sure if sentry guns have a, if they go by difficulty, they scale with difficulty on their explosion damage. I imagine they will, because otherwise you'll start like one-shotting bosses or do nothing on absolute. So this perk could be pretty strong. Next, we have Blast Radius, increased equipment damage radius by 15%. This perk effect is okay. It's predominantly good for things like shock nades and melt-a-bombs, but melt-a-bombs and shock nades are two of the best equipment in the entire game, and this class does have a pretty big equipment focus anyways, so it's okay. It is copy-pasted though, and so is this one here. Defensive Stance. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 20% less damage from range attacks. If you go back in game, again, this is just scramble targeting, which is one of the better perks in the game, to be fair, because the Assault has access to this. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you'll take 20% less damage from range attacks. It's a good perk here, like 20% less damage from range attacks. You can stack that with the perk we saw in the major perk tree of Techmarine as well, where Techmarine does have another 25% range damage reduction, which would take you up to like 45%. That's pretty decent. But as far as perk options go in the Prestige perk tree, the final option here I think is like the best in the entire list. This is called Furious Gunstrike. After using your Gunstrike, melee damage increases by 25% for 5 seconds. This class has a lot of melee damage bonuses already, and being able to do gun strikes automatically off your servo gun means that you really have no downtime in between your melee hits to actually take advantage of this, so this could be very strong. Once again, we do not know for sure if this is a multiplicative damage increase or an additive damage increase, but either way, this is a strong perk effect. Like, that's just my first impression of this. This is a very strong perk effect, especially for this class. Has a lot of synergy with how this class is supposed to play. I think this would be like a must pick for like every single Techmarine Prestige perk tree. And overall, melee damage buffs in Space Marine 2 are pretty fun anyways, because melee damage, melee weapons are more fun to use. And we also have a brand new one that's like a slow hitting, heavy hitting truck with like its own little like special ability that we'll go into here. Like, if we go down, just to pull up the article real quick. If you go down here, it says the Omnisaya Axe. So this does look pretty cool, and having like, I don't know, over 50% melee damage buff on your charging attacks and single heavy hits on top of these sweeping arcs that you can just body people with, and the overcharge perk we talked about previously, that's pretty strong. That's my impression of this. It is pretty strong. But that's pretty much everything we have on the perk tree for the Techmarine currently. Let me know what you guys think about the perk tree in the comments below. I think most people will be satisfied with this class. It does look pretty fun. The major draw of this is the new Tarantula Sentry guns, the Servo gun, and of course the new Omniscience Axe with all the other melee weapon options. That's all I have to say in this one, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, take it easy. Bye. All right, I think that sounds pretty good, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it doesn't sound that bad. To be fair, most all melee gameplay is heavy spam. Yeah, it's still fun. I mean, it's still definitely fun. We did it, guy. That's pretty fucking sick, I gotta say. So, to go over the article a bit more here. First of all, I am gassed for the Torrential Sentry guns. So, like, the time it takes... I need water so bad, guys. Look at that. Like, that looks pretty sick. So, this is the bolter portion of your servo gun. About knowing Saber, they'll most likely mess up the coding, and all damage boosts will be additive, not multiplicative. Well, I think in the case of... Where is it? In the case of the core perk tree with the Arc Cleave, I think Arc Cleave is literally just overcharge. Where is it? Nick Pito, thank you for the 10 tier 1 subs. Thank you very much, dude. God damn. You threw me off. If we look at overcharge here, overcharge is a multiplicative damage increase. This one's incredible. And McFido with the tier 1 sub, dude. Thank you very much. How you doing, McFido? I'm sorry I wasn't reading chat, guys. I just wanted to break this down. Easy, easy, easy. Multitask. Yo, I got a question. I mainly see you using Assault. What's your favorite class? I use, like, every class in this game. I think I genuinely have over 500 hours at this point on every single class in Space Marine 2. Actually, no, that's probably a lie. I probably have, like, 600 hours on this class, like 600 hours on this class, probably like 400, 300 hours on this class, probably like 800 hours on this class, and then like probably 300 and like 500 or something. I have no actual metrics for those numbers, but I have at least 300 hours in every class, put it that way. But as far as my favorite, probably Bulwark and Assault and Tactical. But actually, probably just Tactical. I think Tactical is a very well-designed class in this game, which is why I am happy that the Techmarine is going to be taking after Tactical, because Tactical is just super fucking good in this game. And Tactical, in terms of like class design, I think Tactical is one of the most well-designed classes in all of Space Marine 2. I think he plays the proper role of a support class better than any of them do. And overall, he's very well-balanced, so I think that's pretty good. Fast food tier list when? That's a great question. Here, we did a snack food tier list. Break it down, Mark. Did they fix Overcharge and Assault? It was bugged last I played. They did. They fixed that in patch 11. It's been fixed for like 3 months now. What is currently broken, however, that will be fixed in patch 12 is this perk. Where is it? Over here. No help is coming. Shooting enemy with extreme status effects stops from calling for reinforcements, and headshots will kill in one shot. This one is currently bugged to not work on body shots at all, so hopefully they fix that too, but for now, it's not fixed. 300 hours during the PTS for the Techie speedrun. I think I already have like 400 hours on the public test server for this game across all of them, but... I wish they didn't fix that. I really hope they don't nerf secure stockpile for tactical, at least I feel I can actually depend on my equipment with it. I mean, even if... Guys, if secure stockpile got nerfed to be a 2-minute cooldown, it would still be like the best team perk in the entire game. Like, I don't think the value proposition of this perk is fucking ludicrous. It is really good. For the PTS, how's it work? You just download it and you're good to go? Yep, pretty much. And then they open it up to the player base depending on like if there's like for a limited period of time. How to get access to the PTS as long as you have the game on Steam. So I don't know if anyone else knows. Confirm this in the comments for me. As long as you own the game on Steam, or maybe Epic Games. Any Epic Games users in the chat that like know if you can get it outside of Steam. All I know is like for 100% certain on Steam, you can play the PTS as long as you own the game. You'll be like a separate download on your list, but that is all. Yeah, just like Space Marine 2's public test server, and you can install it. Yeah, all you have to do. All right, thank you guys. No problem, Glacier. No problem at all. Now, as far as other things go, they already did a stratagem for double melta bombs. Don't be a coward and give us 2. I mean, I don't think on the idea of combat squad resupply on the Techmarine, I don't think that the team perks seem that good in that class. Now, if secure stockpile does get nerfed next patch, which it very well might, that will definitely impact siege mode. I'm curious to see how high siege mode could actually go at that point. I don't think 50 is possible ever if this gets nerfed. If they nerf Auspex, or if they... So, the 2 things that are fundamental to siege mode runs right now are, like, secure stockpile and Auspex. Tactical is probably, like, the single most important thing in the entire game. in terms of pace, and then it'd probably Bulwark after that, just because Banner is so damn strong, and things like Defensive Mastery, just like and Focus Restoration, Banner, even without Invigorating Icon, Banner, Focus Restoration, and Defensive Mastery do so much work that without those two things, I don't know how I could go. Does Techmarine get Bolter with Grenade Launcher? Yes, Techmarine will have every single option for the Bolt Rifle. So that includes Combi Melta, that includes Bolt Rifle with Grenade Launcher, that includes the accuracy variant of the Bolt Rifle, that also includes, where is it? The Heavy Bolt Rifle options here, and the only thing that's going to suck on Techmarine is this gun. This gun needs a serious buff. I hope you're looking into that, because if this gun does not get buffed by the time Techmarine comes out, it will be a pretty big pile of shit, because right now this class is kind of carrying the plasma. This perk, Plasma Boost, when plasma weapons are 30% overheated, their damage increases by 40%, and their charge shots use 1 less energy. Without this perk, the Plasma Pistol and the Plasma Incinerator builds are like significantly worse. It is not going to be super epic, and that's also including Auspex. Like Auspex, straight up, is probably just the best class ability in the entire game right now, so... I hope they don't change damage perks just because of siege mode. I mean, it's not just because of siege mode. Like, guys, Secure Stockpile is just the best team perk in the entire game by, like, such a wide margin that perks like Aligned Aim that are already really strong look bad by comparison. It's just that good. Like, you have to ask yourself, what is the value proposition of 3 Melt-A-Bombs every 60 seconds that wipe out an Extremis pack? How much damage would a range damage perk have to do to equal a one-shotting multiple Extremis at once on a 60-second cooldown, potentially? For your entire team. Like, every team member has that potential every 60 seconds. That's a lot of value. Don't forget they have, like, no ammo. Oh, yeah, and the Techmarine has no ammo regen. But I don't think that matters as much, because the Techmarine has the Heavy Bolt Rifle, it has a secondary, a primary, and a melee weapon, and a servo gun that shoots for you, and Tarantula Sentry guns that shoot for you. So I don't think that'll matter as much. If they change perks, I hope they change the situational perks more. Well, I'll say the things that really need to change in Space Marine 2 are like weapon perk design in general, because right now... First of all, right now, classes like Heavy have like one build path. You just build like this or this, and that's pretty much it. Like, this is like the only real column choice. If you're picking perks here, you just don't take this unless you're memeing, and you maybe take this, but this is also just better. And as far as these perks go, Encompassing Aegis is just the best. Consecutive Execution Am at Will. Again, here, Field Adjustment or Power Regulator are really good, and Brute Force. But like, for the most part, the difference between these perks is not that big. This class could definitely use, like, another perk row, for being honest, but... Yeah, ammo won't be a big issue. He has a servo gun and turrets. Precisely, Corvette. Precisely. But Streamer, you forgot Bonds of Brotherhood. Did I forget, or did I actively ignore? What's up, FTG and chat? What's up, Mattis? Sorry if I haven't been keeping up with chat as much here, guys. I need water desperately. I'll be right back. And then we'll continue on. Well, it's another knock against Plasma Incinerator for the tech equals Marine. We'll see. They might buff it. They have confirmed that balance changes are coming, so we don't know what they're going to be, but just expect that you will see balance changes in patch 12 like every other patch. But hydrate down that. Heavy should have 4 armor, naturally, not going to lie. He has Mark X Tacticus armor, so he's probably going to have 3. I think that's a confirmation, pretty much. So I'll say, the things that I am personally looking forward to the most on Techmarine is the fact that this class has a very clear build path already. And what I mean by that is, if we look at the perk tree again, let's bring it up. if we look at the perk tree again, like there's a very obvious build path here where you can take like a sniper build, you can take a plasma crowd control build, you can do a sentry gun build, you can build around your servo gun primarily. These are cool. Like these are much more interesting. Like go back to launch the Space Marine 2, right? Imagine you can gunstrike the servo gun to stun and set up a shadow stab for the Gladius. That'd be fucking sick. I mean, this guy will have power Gladius with all those melee damage buffs, so he can probably one-shot bosses on Auspex. Would be cool if Techmarine could repair armor. That'd be kind of neat. Hey, HG just got here. How's Techmarine's perks looking? The main perk tree looks pretty interesting. The prestige perks are very underwhelming. These are all subject to change. Keep that in mind. This is a work in progress. Final version is, of course, yada yada yada, subject to change. So keep that in mind. It might be better than it looks initially, but for now, looks pretty good. I mean, like these are good perks for the most part. It's just that they're kind of boring. They're just like copied over from another class. 40k pay pig, yeah, dude. You love it. 40k pay pig, of course, dude. What do you mean, dude? Like a $5 DLC pack, dude. Warhammer 40k pay piggy, like duh. What are we talking about? I personally think that being able to gunstrike automatically is huge. It definitely is. Not you, dude. I'm winding up Frog. I mean, I definitely am, dude. I'm Games Workshop's bitch, so like I don't know what we're talking about. The real issue here is the lack of harness on the chest piece. Well, this is just like one piece of customization. This class, like all the other ones, will almost certainly have. Hold on. My game just crashed. That's very tragic if it did. Fuck. Alright, we'll get back in game in a second. Hold on. We will return in game. Game don't like. True. Don't alt tab 1,000 times. A game doesn't like. Now, it doesn't usually care. I'm on borderless. I have 2 windows, so usually it doesn't give a fuck. But so for the launch Marines, they obviously went for Ultramarine style for cosmetics, knowing that most people do other chapters. Do you think Techmarine's cosmetics will be more general? I mean, this is an Ultramarine. This is just an Ultramarine. Like, this is just an Ultramarine, Techmarine. If you look at him. Hold on, let me pull him up. Wherever the fuck it is. I mean, this is just an Ultramarine Techmarine. They're all red because they're trained by the Adeptus Mechanicus. That's how these guys all look. I mean, you can literally see the Omniscience symbol, the symbol of the AdMech. But he is a blue. They're all red, though, for the most part. That's how, like, Iron Hands ones and stuff like that. But they are all part of the Cult of Mars to some degree, because that is where they receive their training. Yeah, all Techmarines are red, though, right? Yeah, mostly. FTG will return. Avengers Doomsday, that's true. I'm surprised he gets the knife and power sword over the chain sword. Not complaining, though. I mean, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Not in this house, they will be pink. I'm surprised he gets, let's see what else. Foaming at the mouth to solo level Techmarine 5 times in a row, dude. Well, thank God I made a leveling guide just for you, dude. Solo level. The Heretical XP Truth. The Heretical XP Truth, as they say, chat. I don't know how long I'll be streaming today. Did you guys ever need help with the weekly, by the way? FTG, do you have any dogs? No. I have no pets. I'm a dogless human. I used to have a dog many years ago. Praise be the Heretical XP Truth. So, on the note of Arsenal, so the primary weapons we have here are Auto Bolt Rifle, Heavy Bolt Rifle, Oculus Bolt Carbine, and the Plasma Incinerator. The only one that comes as a shock to literally anybody is the Auto Bolt Rifle. This one's pretty good. Like, this one is pretty good. Secondary weapons, Bolt Pistol, Heavy Bolt Pistol, Plasma Pistol, Inferno Pistol, Neovolkite. I mean, he's got all 5. Like, that's pretty good. He's the only class in the game, I think, that has all 5 secondaries. Let's see. No, I mean, like, what the fuck am I saying? All the melee classes have this, but he gets Inferno Pistol, which is pretty nuts. Not all the melee classes, but Assault has, Inferno Pistol has all 5, and then I think Sniper has... No, Sniper's 3. So he's the only class of the primary in this game that has access to, like, every secondary, which is pretty interesting. I'm shocked to see that. What's wrong with the Goldfish? A combat knife... What am I saying? As far as the melee weapons go, combat knife, power sword, power axe, and the Amisaya axe. Power axe is almost certainly going to be one of the heroic variants we're getting, and Amisaya and axe will probably be that way as well, is my expectation. Definitely should get the chainsword. Yeah, the anti-knockdown perk could be a deal breaker. FTG, do you have any dogs? I'm starting a sniper. What secondary you recommend? Heavy bolt pistol. As far as like what you should level first in your game, well, I made a little guide on this if you're curious the other day, but bolt pistol, heavy bolt pistol, plasma pistol, like these are all really good, but the bolt pistol and heavy bolt pistol are like the best for all classes because they're on everybody. Confirmed now. Is the public test server confirmed for the 29th? No, the community update is confirmed for the 29th. Techmarine has all the power weapons? Yes, he does. Is the dodge guide in the works? I mean, I don't know what guide I can make on dodging. I'll probably put that. There are many guides in the works. I'll say it right now. There will be a guide for, like, literally every inch of this game on this channel in the next year. In the next 2 months, probably. We'll work overtime. As if I don't normally, but... We'll work. We'll work overtime. I just want Thunderhammer to be on more classes. Same, dude. What's the point of the heavy bolt pistol and bolt pistol, especially if you take ammo, heavy bolt pistol, and damage bolt? They're basically the same. Well, this gun has, like, slightly better ammo economy and less recoil. It also has, like, almost comparable damage at times. It also has different perk effects, like Elite Hunter, so these do play a little bit differently, but I will say Elite Hunter and the perk down here, Death Strike, they're not that different from each other. Like, after completing majority level or higher enemy in melee combat, you will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. This isn't that bad at all, but, like, these are both really good perks. It's just this one is an incredible perk for pure headshot damage. It's kind of, like, not taking this on the bolt pistol is, like, diabolical. You should never do that. What does mean community update? I mean, it means that's what it means, which is you get a community update from Saber. The floor is floor. But no, they released a community update on the 29th. Now, as far as... Let's see what they got here. Let's see what the comments of people are here. Any shit takes. Praise the Messiah. Please add the grav pistol. Oh, yes. Please do add the grav pistol. You know, these guys were supposed to have grav pistols, a huge part. I don't think you can melee with the servo arm in Space Marine 2. No, you can't. This update is about to be fire. Ways about the Holy Incense. I mean, this is probably, like... I don't go into the Focus Entertainment forums that often. I imagine all the comments are, like, either entirely glazed or, like, the most insane people on Earth, because I feel those are the only people that go in forums. But, I'm going to love the playstyle advertised so far for the Techmarine. Definitely, other than missing the Thunderhammer, it's perfect. I guess they could give him the Thunderhammer. Probably not a bad idea. A reasonable take. On a side note, did you see the Warsmith model? I'm not an Iron Warriors fan, but that model is amazing. I saw the preview of it. I haven't actually seen the model yet. Really hope this sets some precedence for Assault class to get the power sword such axe as well. What the fuck are we talking? Assault? There doesn't seem to be a class balance. I think he meant tactical. Dude, can you appreciate what we have for 2 seconds before asking for even more? Real, dude. Anyways, as far as the class goes... They say here, a unique characteristic of the Techmarine is the integration of the servo gun during gun strikes, and we only have like one piece of footage of this in the entire game right now, which is this one perfect dodge. So that one perfect dodge, and then it just blows them up. So it's automatic. That could be good or really bad, depending. Now, we don't actually see... Hold on, let me just make sure. We don't actually see... Did he not get armor off of that? Ooh. That's a little alarming. So, we see up here, his armor is a little empty. And then he fires it off. And no armor restore. That could just be for the work in progress, though. That's not necessarily going to reflect on the official product. I think they meant tactical. Watch the axe gameplay. That's true. The axe gameplay, this weapon looks pretty fucking cool. I'm not going to lie. Also depends on the chapter it is in. Worst class in the game, delete it. What are we talking about? There's other gun strikes on the axe gameplay, you believe? I don't know. How do you feel? How do you guys feel about the reticle? That's the real question. How do we feel about the reticle on this? Actually, let me just try this. Oh, let's hear him talk. That reticle does look pretty fucking ugly. I'm not gonna lie, but that sounds cool. No armor for that? That would be bad. It would be pretty bad. Oh, I love the electrical sound effect on top of the mechadendrite arms. That does sound really good. That is some good sound design. Are more glass cannon than Techmarine Marine? I mean, he has damage reduction perks. He does have damage reduction perks. Tactical is not. My bigger worry is that I used to think I fucking flying. I like how it sounds like you're a fucking transformer. Like, kind of like, hold on, listen, this is very Optimus Prime like. That is so cool. So his servo arm grabs him by the throat. Hold on, look at this. The servo arm comes up, grabs him by the throat, and then preps him to get decapitated. Or chopped in half, depending. Axe perks are unknown yet. Axe perks are unknown. No, we don't know what the axe perks are yet. That is sick. Holy volume, Batman. Yeah, sorry. Sorry if I just eager blasted people. And that's the rush attack, because they said that here it's perfect for handling multiple smaller enemies simultaneously due to his wide AoE attacks, and it also has a special move, the Omniscient Rush, which makes the Techmarine rush forward, impaling the enemies. That is pretty cool. Right here. Like, we kind of see that reflected here. How good this will actually be, dude. This shit looks straight out of Dark Souls, first of all. I'm just gonna be straight up about that. Like, this looks like a Dark Souls attack. Look at this shit. This is goofy looking. The gun strike is so seamless there with melees. Yeah, it definitely looks better here than it did up here. As far as the servo gun goes. So that is some Iron Man shit. I'm just saying, like, this is gonna be my first outfit for Techmarine. It's gonna be an Iron Man outfit. We've all seen 2008 Iron Man 1. We all know the scene I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me pull it up. In case you don't, in case you live under a fucking rock. That's exactly. In case we all live under a rock here. This is awfully like a certain same shit, right? Same shit. I was just saying. I'm actually pretty happy with the servo gun as long as it keeps that performance up at higher damages. When Tony marks all those terrorists and one-taps them, yeah. He missed some people. That's what it reminds me of. Wait, he's shooting the secondary weapon from his back? Yes, because you get automatic gun strikes on this class. Now, this class might be out tomorrow for the public test server. I'm going to assume it is, because Tuesday just makes the most sense. This looks sick, dude. The executes seem cool. My biggest worry for this class. Okay. Let's talk about this. The perk tree does not have a perk I think is very important. Because the thing about Sniper here is Sniper has Persistence, which is a 20% health damage reduction perk on Camo Cloak deactivating, on top of Conviction here. When your armor is fully depleted, you will take 25% less health damage for 15 seconds. This is also a very good perk for the game when you have a class that doesn't have a lot of HP on its own. That's what I'm worried about with the Techmarine, because Techmarine's going to be pretty squishy without one of these perks. Like, if you don't have Conviction on your class, if you look at like the general classes in the game. What is the squishiest class in Space Marine 2? Well, obviously, it's Tactical. Why is Tactical the squishiest class in the entire game? Because there is no damage reduction to be found anywhere in this perk tree. And the only damage reduction perk you have is Fortitude, which is a health increase of 15%. This perk does not exist on the Techmarine. But on top of that, he doesn't have the damage reduction that any of the other classes do. Like, this class also does not have any damage reduction, but he has armor restore. He has a jump pack that makes him invincible and one-shots Extremis. So this class, despite no damage reduction, does have a pretty easy time surviving comparatively to Tactical because he's a get-out-of-jail-free card. My fear for Techmarine in terms of like newer players and what they're going to struggle with is that, or even like experienced players, is that this class will have no get-out-of-jail-free card. You just stand there and you predominantly fight, and if you don't kill the enemies at range, you're now stuck in like brutal melee combat, and you could get ping-ponged because another thing he doesn't have a ton of is no knockback, and without no knockback, so that was the automatic gun strike there. Well, let's look at this. So he parries him, and then there's no gun animation, and fires him, and then he immediately goes into the execute. That's pretty good. Sniper is tanky as fuck with purification. Those perks definitely is. Or they're gonna blue ball us and wait till Tuesday until next Tuesday on top of cloak regen. No, there's no way they're gonna blue ball us on the, because we already know for a fact that the public test server for Techmarine in patch 12 is coming out at the end of the month. So we're in the last week. Techmarine does have his damage reduction from the sentry gun. That is true. This perk, we'll pull that up. But that's a far more conditional one than the conviction perk is the thing, because you have to basically be using what is effectively a limited resource in the game. Because armor regen, like conviction works on an armor break. And the sentry gun, well, these can get blown up. If you look here. These get blown up all the time. So if that goes away, there goes all your damage reduction. So that's definitely a good option. But, you know, if we look at the perk here again, let's go. A little back. Reinforced position. This is probably going to be his best team perk. It's either that or combat squad resupply, because this middle one sucks, but reinforced position, all team members within 15 meters of an active torrential sentry gun take 25% less damage and deal 15% more damage. Even if the damage buff is additive and the 25% less damage buff is all you're really getting, this is a really good perk. The gun strikes aren't automatics. That Sister Hylia chick said in the post, so you have to manually trigger them. Okay, well, you know, here's another issue. Interesting. But here's another thing I have to say about that then. Oh, my game crashed again. No, it didn't. Okay. This is my major problem with Space Marine 2 in general, is that if we're going to have automatic gun strikes, if we're going to have forced gun strike opportunities, this should not be a permabound key, because being physically unable to hip fire in Space Marine 2 and gun strike, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Okay, Battlefield Bonds or Repair Brotherhood #1 team perk. The Bonds of Brotherhood. Bulwark's banner. Yeah, if you look at Bulwark's banner, so the sources of flat damage reduction in Space Marine 2 are very rare, to say the least. So #1, Glory Shield. All team members in the banner area effect take 20% less damage, and the banner lasts 20% longer. This is one of the only flat damage reduction perks for your entire team in the entire game. Might be the only one, actually. Let me think. Actually, I'm gonna look through. Like, what else is there in the entire game? Muffin Crumb. Muffin to Crumb is ready to the party. Hey, what's up, Muffin? Hello there, Muffin. On controllers, sometimes gun strikes still trigger when ADSing. That's not even just on controller. It's on like every single platform. It's just a bug in the game. As far as like a global damage reduction goes, not global, but like team-wide damage reduction goes, you have Encompassing Aegis, which is a global effect. You have Glory Shield, which is a flat damage reduction perk encompassing Aegis being range damage reduction. And then you have... That might be it. That's actually it. So this perk's actually pretty strong. This is a really good perk effect. Pull up. Reinforced position, all team members in 15 meters. 15 meters is really not that close. Like you can definitely fight at a reasonable distance, and then of an active torrential sentry gun, take 25% less damage and deal 15% more damage. 25% less damage reduction. That's better than Glorious Shield, man. That's really good. That's a good perk effect. Hi Kyle, what's up? Hello there. Hello there, brother guardsman. Thank you for the tutorials for beginners, but also for guys that are longer. They can really learn from that. I'll be making many more tutorials, Muffin, but thank you for watching, dude. Thank you for the raid. I much appreciate that. Hey, new to the game, your guides have been great. A week in and already prestige 4 level 25 on one class. Thank you so much for the content and the reasoning behind choices. No problem, bread crust. I'm glad they could help. I'll be making many more. I'll be making guides for all the melee weapons and classes as well. But I want to make good guides, because, you know, we here at FTG serve both vegetables and burger slop. We have all. We're a grocery store. We have it all. You know, it is. But I do want to make some high quality guides. I've been really putting some effort on some of those that I've been posting recently. But just have to say that is the Omnisci actually only new? It's the only new melee weapon. But you gotta think, what is a new melee weapon in Space Marine 2? Because, like, what is a percentage increase? How many melee weapons we have right now? I can't math, so I'm not gonna say the actual number. But this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. We have 6 melee weapons in game right now. I'm just saying, dude. Hey FTG. Just have to say that it would have been awesome to have the Tarantula as a drop skill like the banner, and the servos like it is right now as a unique secondary for the class. In my opinion, like it as it is also. I mean, it really depends. The Tarantula sentry guns really do depend. All the slot for Sir Guardsman, Slanesh VTuber when? I will never be a VTuber. I would never profane myself on such things. Lesson will be learned. Katie broke before the turret did. So, on the note of Tarantula sentry guns, I'm going to be live for like another hour here. Probably get some people some help with weeklies, but I do want to go over all of this, because I have some thoughts I can just ramble about. My worries for tech moves. I want to talk about what am I looking forward to. We'll just talk about this again. Fuck it. Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and we'll be talking about we'll make this a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit bigger. Just a tad bit bigger. Hey guys, first Regardsman here. I'm gonna be talking a little bit more about the Techmarine here and cover some stuff I didn't talk about previously, and mainly what I'm looking forward to in this class. Mainly what I'm looking forward to. Fuck, I am truly pathetic at recording sometimes. Live in the studio again. Yeah, might as well, dude. While I'm talking. I get to a flow of convo, you know? I feel like I've been recording since I got up, pretty much, so it's been very annoying, but... WFTG, hell yes, Techmarine, indeed. Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and today I'll be talking about the Techmarine once again, and talking about some things I didn't really mention in my previous video on this article, mainly what I am looking forward to with the Techmarine, and what some of my concerns are for it. So recently, we got the full loadout for the Techmarine, completely revealed by Saber here. The arsenal is confirmed to be the auto bolt rifle, heavy bolt rifle, Oculus bolt carbine, and the plasma incinerator. Now, the plasma incinerator is a weapon in Space Marine 2 that is really carried at the moment by the Tactical's Plasma Boost perk. There are no ammo economy perks on the Techmarine, but the reason I'm not too worried about that fundamentally is because we have the new Tarantula sentry guns. Now we can see the Tarantula sentry guns up here. They probably have a scaling HP depending on the difficulty you are playing, and they probably have the scaling damage as well, because recently Saber has made a pretty big push in the game with things like the Vanguard class diving kick and stuff like Intimidating Aura to make sure that the perks we have and the class abilities we have in the game function properly across all difficulties. So I saw some rumbling or some grumbling about the Tarantula Sentry Gun being blown up too easily here, and I really do think these are going to scale with difficulty to some degree. It wouldn't really make any sense for them to not do that, because they also have a turret explosion mechanic, which you can see here. This will damage the enemy to some degree when they actually get hit by this. It does not scale up with difficulty. It'll do pretty much nothing on higher difficulties, so I assume there will be some scaling mechanics. Now, one of the things I'm worried about with the class is beyond not just ammo economy. With the Plasma Incinerator, things like the Oculus Bolt Carbine or the Standard Bolt Rifle, currently the best perks, or excuse me, the best variants for these weapons are things like the Accuracy variant that has a headshot multiplier. That weapon without the Emperor's Vengeance perk on Tactical, which I mentioned a little bit before in another Techmarine video, it will suffer more in ammo economy. That's a big problem for these guns at the moment. Like, Auto Bolt Rifle is okay, Heavy Bolt Rifle is okay, Oculus Bolt Carbine is like kind of okay. There is some ammo regen built into this weapon, but for the most part, the best variants of things like the Bolt Rifle and the Plasma Incinerator, they function primarily because they are on the Tactical class. The Tactical has perks that will make up for their downsides. So we'll go to the Tactical tree right here, right now. So Plasma Boost. This is a 30%, or excuse me, a 40% damage increase, and their charge shots use 1 less energy buff while you were 30% overheated. Currently, this perk is kind of carrying the Plasma Incinerator. Now, keep in mind, Saber did say that in the official Techmarine update, we will be seeing some balance changes, but for now, I am a little worried about the ammo economy on this weapon, and that is one of my bigger worries for the class in general. Sup FTG, hell yes, Techmarine. Turret dealt self-explosion damage when the turret got destroyed. The Yap Flow is nice. The Yap Flow, I'm not going to upload that one. I don't think I have anything to say on that. I haven't already said. This is STG now for the double engagement. No. Oh yeah, we have to go on second tier cardsman too. That's true. How are you guys feeling about Techmarine? I should ask. How's everybody feeling about the Techmarine reveal? I imagine we're all pretty hyped. Roll over FTG, yeah. I like it overall. I mean, it looks pretty damn fun to me. It looks like one of the better classes we've had in the game. In terms of like perk design and everything, it looks pretty great. Show me the drip, cowards. True. New axe looks baller. But it will be released. Hold on. Just have to say that it would have been awesome to have the Tarantula as a drop skill. You said this. Turret deals self-explosion damage, but it will be released on January 29th. No, the Techmarine will not be released on January 29th. The community update will be released on January 29th. January 29th community update will likely show us. So we'll just go over this real quick. What is coming in the community update for January 29th? It will be the Techmarine's official reveal from Saber beyond what we had today, on top of probably the reveal of what the class will be, or like what faction it will be for the PvP, on top of the fact that we'll get more information on the chapter head DLC packs, upcoming DLCs for the game, on top of upcoming updates beyond Techmarine, because Techmarine's dropping in a few weeks. Like, that's what they said in the Xbox Wire article. Now, if you go back to the Xbox Wire article real quick, where the fuck was it? Here it is. They said here that the Techmarine will be coming out in, where the fuck did they say it? They said, before we do, let's cover some basics. If you're looking to jump to the Grim Darkness of the Far Future the first time next week, this is for the Xbox Game Pass. Let me just find this. Few weeks. Yes, so set to release our patch 12 Techmarine update in just a few weeks, and this was posted on January 21st. So, like, we're going to see this in, like, the first 2 weeks of January by that, not January, February, by that metric, like, mid-February, late February at the absolute latest. Like, that's pretty soon, guys. That is pretty soon. The solo leveling patch incorporated. So, on the note of the grumbling about this, I've made my own video on this. I'm not too worried about the Techmarine being unplayable at launch because, first of all, we have a huge influx of players coming thanks to the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Premium and PC Game Pass on January 29th. A bunch of new players will be coming to the game, and if you are brand new to Space Marine 2, you will have every single class to level up. And like there's no way that every single Game Pass player and PC Game Pass player is going to have every class leveled up by the time Techmarine drops. And some of them might be more enamored by the other classes in the game and the upcoming drop for Techmarine. So I'm sure that people have a decent enough time playing the game in matchmaking, because at the moment, Saber's made a pretty big push a while back to not match you with people who are using the same class as you. So it doesn't happen as often anymore. So you might just have like slightly longer matchmaking periods. That's about it. Blood Angel's voice pack is what matters. They also said they're going to do more in the future, but we'll see how they actually do that. Coming from Vermintide is not that big of a problem as you think, yeah. Yeah, Vermintide did like select classes. You can't all play the same. Shadowbird, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you very much. I mean, Space Marine 2 right now is more popular than it's ever been. You know, if we talk about something else I want to talk about here, guys, that Jeff and I talked about today, is the year 2 pass of like what is coming. What is coming for Space Marine 2 in year 3? Will Space Marine 2 get a year 3? I've seen some stupid fucking comments on this, to be honest. People saying like, oh, year 3 is not coming to Space Marine 2. So this is the quarterly, this is the third quarter earnings report from Pull Up Entertainment. Pull Up Entertainment being this is the parent company of Focus Entertainment. So here, their back catalog is making them more money than their new releases currently. Their new releases are down 70% of their total revenue. Like it is Saber Interactive has every reason to push. If you go down here, they talk about the where is it? Let me find Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2. So the back catalog, very strong growth, up 41% in the third quarter and 43% over the first 9 months compared to the prior year. Robust trends for live games with Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2, SnowRunner, Train Sim World, Atomic Heart, Insurgency Sandstorm, and a Plague Tale franchise. So like obviously one of the front runners of this is Space Marine 2, which is why we've seen more DLC releases for it. They have every financial incentive to keep making this. And if you look at like the changes in just the player base in general for Space Marine 2 since this time last year and what led to the initial release of year 2, their earnings report says everything. That like it just makes financial sense for them to keep making content for the game. So that's almost I would almost say guaranteed to happen in my opinion. But what do you call it? Progression system update in late year 2. Yes, that too as well. That as well. Marcus probably another guide for that, but. Yeah, hell yeah, it is. Space Marine 2 is making good money. Definitely is. Especially these new DLC packs. Also, what's up, Red Leg? Yeah, I've seen people say that Space Marine 2 is not getting a year 3, which is like fucking crazy to me. I hear people say that. Actual snack. Grav Pistol year 3. I think we'll probably see Great Swords in year 3. Maybe a secondary. So, yeah, let's put it like this, okay? If you want more information on year 3 beyond just looking at the money, and in my opinion, looking at the actual earnings report of a company is the best way to judge on where they're going to allocate future monetization ideas and resources in the going forward. If you want to go beyond that, Saber already said they want 2 heroic variants for every single weapon in Space Marine 2. And there is not enough time left in Space Marine 2 for year 2 to possibly add every single weapon, like a double heroic variants for every single weapon in the game. It's just not happening. This game is going to go all the way up to Space Marine 2. It's going to go all the way up to Space Marine 3. I promise you. I will bet my life on this, guys, that you will see a year 3 for Space Marine 2. You will probably see a year 4 as well. The official community managers for Space Marine 2 have also said they are unaware if there even is a year 3 yet because they've been kept in the dark. So my expectation is in May, you will see the Warhammer Skulls event. They will come out with the brand new stuff, the brand new reveals for like Total War 40k, Dark Heresy, Space Marine 2, maybe a tiny sliver of information of Space Marine 3. I doubt it though, because they said they're only in like very, very early development for that game. But Space Marine 2, almost certainly. And if you don't see anything at Warhammer Skulls for Space Marine 2, you will absolutely see information from the game coming like late August, because we didn't even get confirmation of Space Marine 2 having a year 2 of any kind until the end of August in 2025. So either May for Warhammer Skulls, where we're probably going to see all the info on like upcoming patches for the new Siege map and stuff like that, progression update, and then in September or like late August, that's probably when you get the confirmation that year 3 is coming, because year 3 is like almost certainly coming, I would say. People doomsaying about the game are gene stealers in disguise. Dude, like, it just sounds like strange cope to me. Space Marine 2 now is a mod map for PvP, lol. It is a huge step in mod. Monetize ability on a class. That was so fun. What even is this weekly? This is the ballistic engine one. If everyone wants to come on in. Let's go play a little bit Space Marine 2, shall we? Play game. I saw people saying Space Marine 2 wasn't going to finish out quarter 3 and 4 this year. Some takes are insane. It doesn't make any sense. Saber has like pushed a couple individual things back from patches. They've never done like a major failure in delivery. Maybe they under-deliver in terms of like what content people wanted, but not in terms of like their timeline for it. FTG, how do we feel about no ammo regen on the Techmarine? Well, George, I think that the Techmarine's going to be okay. Regardless, I think he's going to be okay. I think he will be fine. Mainly because as long as the Techmarine does not have to deal with any major issues thanks to the Servo Gun, Tarantula Gun, his ammo consumption is probably going to be overall lower than other classes are. Hi everybody, how you guys doing? What's up, Sanushi? Sanshui? I can't English, I'm sorry. I want a Thunder Hammer today, so that's what I'm going to do. He also gets a decent amount of melee damage. Yeah, he gets a decent amount of melee damage plus... Okay, well, somebody didn't want to play. So if everyone wants to come in for the weekly, we're going to do one. So we know if they are releasing more voice packs than just the 3 they showed off for the first update for it. We don't know for sure, but they said they have plans, that they are likely planning more. And what that means, Cobra, that's Corpo speak to me, which means they are planning to see how do the new DLC voice packs do, how well are they received, and number one, do they sell well? And if they sell well, like everything else in corporate marketing, they will make more. And I'm almost certain they will. I think these DLC heads, despite the grumblings of players, will sell very well. Either way, I'm excited. I don't have to click gun strike when I'm dodging. Should be pretty good. I'll make a dodge guide. I'll make a guide for everything. We'll have it out. I don't know how soon, but we'll have it out. Saw your video on the Techmarine, seems cool. It does look pretty damn cool. I think the class looks great. What's up, FTG? How's it going? What's up, Tomix? I know it's a Monday, so most people are probably at work right now, but I want to talk about this live. What's up, Cheeky? Have they confirmed that you have to have the head equipped to get the lines, or can you get the voice lines while wearing a helmet? I think they said they're going to be separate selections. Like, you can select the voice lines without the head equipped, but I think you usually want... Well, you wear a helmet. Do the voice packs and face cosmetics come out this week? They come out with patch 12. They come out officially with patch 12. They might be in the public test server. That is possible, but for now, we know they come out in patch 12. I'm not really a fan of all the equipment perks on Techmarine. They could replace a lot of them with something else. They definitely could replace them with something else, but we'll see. Wait, do we have a PTS date? George, we know the PTS is coming out. I'm sorry, you guys are like a static. My bad. We know the PTS comes out end of January, so I would likely expect PTS in like a few days, in the next few days. Maybe the 29th, maybe on Friday. Probably before that, though. I wish they'd just give us a release date for it. That'd be nice.
Advance while it is clear.
Now, as far as the public test server is concerned, they did say they, like, so one of the community managers said he's directly pushing to have the new voice lines on there. I guess people have been asking for them. I think Librarian to be the most fun out of the 3-ish potential new classes. They confirmed they are not planning on adding a Librarian at all to the game. They have no plans for new classes right now at all, as a matter of fact. But that will likely change when Techmarine comes out, because Techmarine will almost guaranteed do very well in this game. Because, like, I imagine Saber's going to see an enormous influx in the most important thing of all to them, which is money. Thanks to #1 traffic to the game, people purchasing DLC packs from the game going on Game Pass.
At the first objective, Lieutenant Titus.
Activate the Quartermaster's console and wait for Machine Spirit. Instruct him to load the explosive warhead onto the train and assist him when necessary.
Just let me play as a Dreadnought and some op. I doubt you'll ever have that. You can play as it in the PvP. I still can't believe we got a Dreadnought in PvP, dude. I gotta play as a playable Hellbrute. Of all, like, that was not my bingo card. My fear is that I think the Techmarine might actually just be shit in the siege mode. I don't think, because, like, if you have low HP values, like total HP values in that, you're very in danger of getting exploded. That's already an issue for the tactical. Do you think the turrets are going to be a pushover? Good question. I mean, we have to play with them. I think they might. My first impression is, like, they look a little gimmicky. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, they look a little gimmicky. I think they're gonna be really fun for new players. I think new players will absolutely love them. But as far as, like, super sweaty min-max players, which, like, to be fair, there really aren't that many of that in this game. They are not going to be like a super top tier thing, but they do have that perk effect. Like, reinforced position is really good. There's a couple buff effects for them as well. They can do other buffs to your turrets and to yourself for being around them. That could change the entire playstyle quite a bit. Techmarine class really should have been airdrop some Skitarii would have been peak. I mean, having Admech in this game would be pretty sick in terms of, like, maybe if the turret scale dynamically the enemy, it could be alright, but if it scales at the start of the mission, it might be stinky. I imagine they'll probably scale with difficulty. You're gonna finish the last hard stratagem? Good luck, brother.
We have the warhead on the move, Lieutenant. Good.
From the small clip I saw, it died like instantly. Well, apparently all of the test footage they put out like that is done on minimal difficulty. I thought the turret was a Techmarine ability. No, the Techmarine has two abilities. He has a servo gun, and he has the turrets. Yeah, so it died instantly on minimal, and then it didn't blow up the guys. But if it scales up in damage, like Intimidating Aura, like the diving kick on the Vanguard, I think it will be okay. Also, what's up, Yuchi? Am I the only one who felt this week's hard stratagem was easier than last week's? No, I mean, you get 10 stims, dude. Oh, wait, no, easier than normal absolute. I mean, yeah, you have atrophy, which is only hard if you die. You have 10 stims, and you always have no knockback. Damage received is continuously increasing mission duration. Corrosion can be dangerous, but not too bad. I'm more excited about the drip that Techmarine has with 35 operations. Well, if you're curious what the drip's going to be, oh, I just completely about that. I will be showcasing all of it. I don't know when it comes out, so all I know is they almost always come out at 5 a.m. for me, so I'll be streaming every day at 5 a.m. like the dog from Futurama until it comes out.
This is not a test of method, but of patience.
We're doing a big 24-hour stream on release. Probably. Wow, I just got my fucking face. Oh wait, I have 10 snips. I forgot. Yeah, we will be. Probably a big collab too, as well. Depending. The 24-hour stream. We'll be doing that eventually. I'll be so dead by the end, but we'll do it. Yo gang, is it even possible to level 25 on Siege without being juiced up in Prestige 4? Oh, it's definitely possible. You can probably do like level 15, to be honest, as long as you have guns and stuff like that. Like 25 is not easy for like a lot of players, but it's not ridiculous. Well, actually, it is probably ridiculously hard for a lot of players, but if you know what you're doing, if you have a team that kind of knows what they're doing, and you work together, and you spread knot and all that, I think you'll probably be okay. I think that's predominantly where like most teams will end. I put this in my difficulty guide that I made, which is like 90% of players are just not going to ever engage with the harder mechanics on Siege mode, so pretty easy for them.
No storm will delay our vengeance.
34-hour stream farming XP on Siege. That was honestly leveling up a class these days. So when I did my initial Prestige grind, I did them like one stream after the other many months ago. But this one will probably be a lot faster now because Siege mode didn't exist when I did that. Where's he floating to? I don't understand. Siege's hardest difficulty comes from crashing, and that too. I will say, it will be kind of lame if they wind up nerfing Secure Stockpile or like a couple other hugely powerful perks in the game, or if they ever nerf Auspex. Potential Siege mode climbs are going to be hit brutally. JJK news channel when? Pretty soon, actually. My friend's looking for work, and he asked me to, like... He was like, dude, Quickly Shinobi's right there. He's British. He's like, Quickly Shinobi's right there. I'm desperate. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I'll just yap into a microphone about the Burra fucking lightspeed kicking Maharaga, and we'll call it a day. And I'll send it to the GOAT. What's up, Chapter Master? What's up, Lord Vegeta? Super is coming back. I don't really care for DBZ that much. Do you think they'll show the rest of the roadmap for year 2 on the 29th with the community update? They'll probably show some sneak peeks. Why are they not buffing tons of bad perks and nerfing things? I mean, they can do both. I don't think nerfs are always a bad thing, though. Some perks are way stronger than they should be. To the point they do kind of trivialize the game.
Jump pack refuel.
Change the in-game audio to French and Viva le Emperor, your way to victory. We'll do that stream sometime. The French Marines. Secure stockpile needs to be moved to Techmarine. It'd be more balanced on Techmarine, I think. I think it also fit the class more. If they swapped it over to Techmarine and took it off TAC would not only be more... I think TAC's pretty well balanced now, to be fair, but like in terms of like team impact, TAC is like an S tier class for like a team, like any team comp ever, because he is just such an enabler. It's just such an enabling class on every mode in the game too. He's an enabler on siege mode, he's an enabler on the hard stratagems mode, and he's an enabler on the operations mode. He just helps out everything. Everything goes smoother with attack on your team that puts down a proper aspect. You feel like Vanguard needs a buff? He definitely does. His damage is a little weak. I think they're afraid to buff Vanguard more because he doesn't really have... He has a very large margin for error, but so does Bulwark. And Bulwark's not like really taking away anything from the team for being ridiculous. I also have to thank... I do have to thank you for your updated guides. One of my friends... I got one of my friends to play Space Marine 2, and he is pretty good for a beginner. I'm glad I could help out, man. I'll be making more of those guides. I'm making them for every melee weapon, every class, every other mechanic I can think of. I don't know how niche them get. Probably enemies at some point, like general enemy guides. But I want to make them all be the same quality. I will be updating them all. And then we'll update the progression one again. The Vanguard is crazy for survivability. I mean, he's crazy for survivability if you're new. Well, I mean, he's good at survivability, I should say, but so is Bulwark. And Bulwark's also just good at everything else, too. The Vanguard's a very overrated class in this game in a lot of cases, just because he is easier to play. He does have global healing. Most players would never touch Vanguard without healing, so he does just get a bit overrated because of that. Everyone just assumes, even though his most powerful combos don't take healing perks at all. What is your favorite gun for the heavy class? Probably the heroic heavy bolter. Definitely not the Melta. Bulwark is just overtuned. Everyone is weaker by comparison. It depends on the map. Depends. Siege mode in solo siege, Assault's better than Bulwark is. Certain classes like Bulwark doesn't scale up that much in damage on on larger waves. The more enemies you put on the screen, the better Assault gets. Like case in point here. But yeah, I would say overall Bulwark's still the strongest class in the game. I mean, 100% range damage reduction on one button press. It's just like that. The heroic heavy bolter, yes sir. Alan Cameron. Alan. You guys watch Smiling Friends? Or somebody does. What's your favorite chapter? Chapters. That's an easy one. Number 1, Blood Angels. Number 2, Dark Angels. Excuse me, not Dark Angels. Imperial Fist. Then Dark Angels. Then Space Wolves. And then 5 can be like somebody. It changes. It's crazy I went from thinking Vanguard was the best class to thinking it's the worst. It's definitely in the bottom too. Like the only class that I have a question of where I want to put them is like Sniper or Vanguard. Everyone else is pretty cut and dry. I would say Techmarine is probably going to be a mid-tier class. I think he'll have about as much impact as like... I don't think he'll be a top tier. Really don't, but... The Bulwark Shield Bash build is absurd tank plus a shit ton of damage. Definitely is. Nothing wrong with it being a mid-tier class though for Techmarine. Why Imperial Fist then Dark Angels? Because I like Imperial Fist more than Dark Angels. Because Rogel Dorn. And then Dark Angels are like more than Space Wolves, so they go above. Might be the bomb too, but it's the top one. Fun for me. And hey, that's the point of the game. You know, we talk about class discrepancies in tier lists and stuff. Space Marine 2 is not a game you have to min-max. Space Marine 2 is not a game like really matters for sweating in that much at all. It's mostly like fun, cosmetic RP. Dogel Rorn, exactly.
Warhead is loaded, Lieutenant.
Good. Deploy it.
Imperial Fists are savage, especially Sigismund. And it's funny, I don't like Sigismund that much compared to a lot of other Imperial Fists. I'm too much of a Codex purist for that, I guess. I say as someone who likes the Space Wolves. I know number 5 can be Black Templars. That's number 5 for today. Vanguard just feels janky as fuck to play sometimes. Sometimes you just feel like an unmatched Zeal bot, especially when your grapnels go for the wrong enemy. Grapnel targeting is probably the #1 problem with Vanguard. That's the only thing that makes him feel clunky. It's the fact, you know, all they have to do is just make it so Vanguard doesn't grapnel, doesn't have like a 10-meter requirement to be away from an enemy to grapnel them, and he would just feel 10 bajillion times better.
Not get another shot at this.
Less Dorn glazing. You're, dude, you like Lorgar, okay? I'm not gonna take this from you, Fridge. Also, make it so you can see when enemy is 33% HP instead of having to focus it. Yeah, you get to see him at 33.3% HP. Like, they should just have... There's so many quality of life features they could do for Vanguard. But they just don't. Alright, it's gonna be this one. That 100. If you're unaware, guys, the Thunderhammer in this game has 100 cleave on it compared to the other weapons that have 15, which means you can hit a maximum of 100 enemies with the full damage of your ground pound when you fucking land. That's why you just pulp these dudes. Fridge on Twitch and not YouTube is the ultimate betrayal. Yeah, that's true. Fridge, why are you on Twitch? What a betrayal. No, I'm kidding. We love our Twitch guys. But Reddit told me Thunderhammer and Assault is bad. Thunderhammer probably is. Thunderhammer's a weird weapon. In the sense that the Thunderhammer, I think this weapon is really slow for a weapon in Space Marine 2. Like, on Bulwark, this is his worst option. On Assault, it's because of that ground pound cleave, especially in Siege mode, this thing goes up in usefulness dramatically. Because cleave is just very good. That means more Zealous blow triggers. Does the heavy stomp have a cleave potential, or can it hit every enemy nearby? I think it definitely... I don't know what the actual cleave potential of the stomp is. I could ask. Lunchbox, even the tier 1 sub gifted the Fridge Picker. I can't believe we're gifting subs to a Wordbearer fan in this chat. You know, guys, with the Techmarine update, we might have more emotes. Block Hammer versus Rogue Hammer. Definitely Block Hammer. Rogue Hammer is pretty gimmicky. Pretty fun, though. It's definitely better on Bulwark. But on the note of the Thunderhammer in this game, all you really need to do is have some quality of life features for this thing, and it will feel significantly better. And one of those, for me, would just be... make it so the Thunderhammer does not get interrupted by grabs when you're doing this. Like, when I go up in the air, I can take the damage. I don't care. Allow me to properly trade. Because right now, when you're charging your Thunderhammer, you let it go, and an enemy is doing their little, like, Minoris grab on you, you will have to move. Stomp is 8. Oh, wait, heavy stomp, yeah. Yeah, Hypex, wonderful, you're here. Tell me. Tell me, Mr. Code guy. You would know. Hypex, have you been happy with the quality of my recent guides? I made them just for you. I know you never asked for them, but I thought of you while making them. And that's all that matters, really. It's a thought that counts. Ow. I got a little shenanigan there. Heavy stomps are 15. That's why he's the fucking goat.
Another alien falls.
I'll put that in the guide when I get around to it. Ground pound siege as per the hammer with what brush that is for the power fist. Only top tier attack. The other ones are either just good or straight up bad. Aftershock and is pretty good too. Aftershock on with double block charges, you do get like a triple stun on the guys because it will go for the entire length of your adrenaline surge charge. I'm pretty sure. Good guys. If only you would also suffer in my little difficulty mode. I'll get around to it, dude. I'll get around to it. I've been working editing on overtime. I have my friend Josh in the proverbial basement, stuck editing videos all day.
Detonation in 5.
Yeah, the Techmarine, the voice actor for the Techmarine sounds good, definitely does. There we go. What's the optimal moment to hit Rabbit with the block power fist? At the first 2 blocks and then just charge and tank his 3rd hit. I believe you actually do it on the first hit if you can tank it, because I don't think you have enough time for... I think you have enough time for a tier 1. I haven't tested this in a while. It's a pretty tight timing. Does your editor get his 1 ration a day at least? Of course not. We pay him in raisins. I mean, I don't know. Do you consider dried fruit a ration? When's the PTS, by the way? We don't know for sure yet. FTG has a Joe. I have a Jamie. Jamie, pull that up for me. Better than corpse starch. Did they say the Omnisciax was exclusive to Techmarine? That's the first. Yes, it is exclusive. It will be exclusive to Techmarine. They did state that. That makes sense though, because the Omnisciax is an Omnisciax. It wouldn't make any sense for it to be on like Assault, Vanguard, Tactical, or anything like that. It'd be super goofy if they did. It literally has like an Admech symbol on it. You mean you pay him in corpse starch? Josh is a man of many talents. He's been on the stream before. He's an incredible editor. He really is. He taught me everything I know about editing, and like he critiques me like an absolute monster. And he allows me to underpay him. So, like these are all upsides, but the main thing is that he wants work. So he asked me, "Hey, for your second channel, can you just yap into a microphone? I'll edit it and you pay me." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds good to me." I asked him what his cost was, and he said, "You pay me in 3 raisins a week." I don't know what that means in actual dollars. Actually, in whatever he calls his British currency. But man-slave labor. He said I can pay him in 3 raisins a week. So like, I don't know what the worth of dried fruit really is, but are Josh and STG the same person? No, they're very different. He's been on here before. You know how occasionally I have like 2 random British people on my stream, like every once per month? Those are my admins in my server, and they're Jujutsu Kaisen YouTubers, both of them. But they have helped me tremendously on this channel, because this is where worlds collide. That's just how it goes, you know? More like trained in AI. Well, I am a Brit here. I have no problem with British people. Wait, you guys get paid? No, no, we never do. Of course not. Wednesday is a weekly reset. True. Yeah, I doubt Games Workshop or Greenlight any other classes using Omnisaya Axe. Real. Alright, we're gonna do one more weekly. We're dead again. Come on in, boys. And then I get back. British, yeah. He said something aggressively British to me the other day, and I asked him, he said something so British I couldn't even, like, properly process the words that, like, came out of his mouth initially, and I said, please translate it to American. He was like, and he just went full stop in his best British accent, went to the microphone, was like, cheeseburger, French fries, hot dog. Hey, first regardsman, you badass Smexy motherfucker. I love you so much. Heart. Hearts back to you, HR Hansen. Are you from Human Resources? Because it's a weird thing for a guy in HR to say. Alright, let's go and British people be like Halo 3. Depends. He's got a very different accent from ours. He doesn't have a posh accent. Just bring it in here, dude. You guys like Space Marine 2? I knew I liked you, dog. Get in here. I'll do some research about Siege Timer. I can share a text file with you about it. Max time, reward per weight. Yeah, I actually do that, Hypex. I'll make a Siege guide at some point. That'd be very useful. Thank you, man. Actually, I should have asked you about a lot of those modes to, like, go and explain, like, if you do individual guides on those. Probably not a bad idea. I'll say it right now. I will be making, just for the history books, that I will be making a guide on pretty much everything in this game. Every melee weapon, every class, every enemy, at some point. Periodically as the game gets updated, of course. Bosses as well. By the Emperor, what is that skin? It's a death company, brother. Have you ever seen Horus?
Retaking those sectors is a lost cause. Bombardment from orbit risks collateral damage, so we need a more targeted approach.
He's doing an informational video for the employee. I mean, look at Heavy, the Heavy. Oh wait, hold on. What the fucking... Dude, that ain't Horus. Dude, it's a ultimate Blood Raven, dude. He stole all that armor from every other chapter. The composite Marine. Guide on the testing arena when? I could definitely do that for you, Hypex. I actually have a great idea. I'll put that in the other thing. If you want me to do that, I can get around to it eventually. I don't know how long it would be, but... And I'll even say, my friend made this. And then we'll blaze.
The world this Xenos sought to consume, now consumes atmospheric conditions return to normal.
Crayola Marine. If you have guys that to play each class in absolute, I will. I would make them, but I want them to be in depth, so.
Brothers, tyranny.
I'm not gonna just. I don't want to rush them. I was also waiting for Techmarine because I want to do a an overall one of like which one people should try out and. How often do you stream? This week I streamed a little bit less because I've just been fucking stuck in the editing room all day. But usually I just stream whenever. Probably like 5 to 7 days a week. Actually, I recently realized that I've made statistically over one video every day for over a year and a half. What's up, Hayes? They have to make a weight 50 guy be totally for real. That's not nothing to do. What's it called? What new perks would you want to see in Assault that isn't just more heals? Hayes, how do you feel about Techmarine? How do you feel about the class? How do you feel about the fact the class doesn't have a Fortitude perk? That's my worry for it. It looks a little
First
squishy, dude.
objective, Lieutenant Titus.
It looks a little squishy, I'm not gonna lie.
Quartermaster's console and wait the machine spirit. Instruct it to load the explosive warhead onto the train and assist it when necessary.
Can you tell me exactly how to play the game? One button press at a time? So I don't have to think at all, dude. So you load up the game on minimal, and you just walk. I feel like Mechanicus will be BFF with Tactical. Probably. Probably could be. Maybe. Mayhaps. Techmarine looking real glass cannon. I cannot fucking wait. I'm super interested to see how many damage modifiers will stack and synergize. Yeah, dude, he had like 4 different sources of melee damage. Oh, we went over the perk tree a bit. I'm kind of curious. Like, he has like 1 of 2 sources of straight up team-wide damage reduction. That's a passive on the turrets. So like, if the turrets have an HP that scales with difficulty, he could be really good. I do think he might suck dick in siege mode. I do fear he's very glass, like no damage reduction perks beyond that 1 and no HP increases is pretty sus, because Sniper kind of gets away with that because he has Purification and Conviction. But we'll see. He would have to be squishy because the turret would pull aggro. I don't even know if aggro pulling is what you want in this game sometimes. I'm hoping that the lack of fortitude will be at least helped by Gunstrike mechanic, because at least in a 1v1, 2-3, you'll be able to consistently stun. That's true. That's a great point. Imagine how cracked he would be if you gave him a armor reinforcement perk. Imagine that, Hayes. Imagine if they gave him an armor reinforcement. Most importantly now, Techmarine, we can run an all-heavy bolt rifle squad and ops. Triple DACA, yeah, dude. The very renowned and amazing heavy bolt rifle. The best gun in the whole game that we all definitely love. The never maligned heavy bolt rifle. Oh, that's not where I wanted that to go. Yeah, but I mean, we play Tax/Assault Assault and Siege right now using only Fortification. I think the Gunstrike and Servo Arm, it might get by Immense HP from the Servo Gun. I think it'll be usable. I just don't think he'll be, like, the best option, because Tactical is just, like... I'm actually wondering if they're going to nerf Secure Stockpile this patch. That's something I was thinking about, because if we look at the Combat Resupply perk they gave him, where he gets an additional equipment on top of the... without a Melt-A-Bomb. That does lead me to believe that he will not be... He will not be the guy. Or like that they're gonna look at Secure Stockpile, because otherwise Secure Stockpile is just like ridiculously stronger than his equipment perk is. As for Siege, only testing will tell, so it's going to synergize attack really well. I mean, imagine you put that on Auspex where like a Trench of Sentry gun is down, or a all those damage multipliers. It does depend, because like Auspex, that's how it stacks, like you said. Like all things, it depends on how the Auspex can save it. Grav gun and pistol though. Yeah, I can't replace Tacky as Auspex. Auspex, if they ever nerf Auspex or they nerf Secure Stockpile, which they might, you never know. But like Precise Calibration, Auspex plus Concentrated Fire is kind of like, if they ever nerf that, holy moly. I got Lord, can't be more excited. So much to test, dude. It does look super fun. It looks much more interesting than the other classes were at launch. Almost brought the heavy bolt gun. It's the middle of the road, but sounds and feels amazing. I mean, it's just like one of the. It's technically one of the worst guns in the game. Like, there's no reason to ever take that in your heavy. It's time to kill. CHP regen is fine. Its ammo economy is fine. It's not as bad as the. Not like a bad gun. I don't think there is like a proper trashing gun in Space Marine 2 anymore, but. Nerf Auspex and remove all heals and do better game. I mean, removing heals, yeah. I mean, Auspex is kind of a little... Can I say that out loud? Is Auspex a little OP? Kind of is. Definitely the best class ability. Besides Banner. And Jump Pack. But Jump Pack's more of like a synergizing tool with like and the weapon you're taking and the build you're building. Auspex just goes off. Like I said, you do also have to build the Auspex, so. Depends how the increases damage taken thing will work. If it's like Auspex, it's not strong. If it's like the parry / block mode, it'll be bonkers strong. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I shouldn't have read that. But I just got comboed by that Lictor. Hold on. On the last thing, it has bolt rifle, so attack plus tech can do 2 times grenade launcher in siege. I'm just saying that is true. My fear for him is he doesn't have spare power as for siege perk. A lot of things that enable the tactical to be so strong with all the perks in game. Oh wow, fucking W from Guy. I'm getting range spam.
No storm will delay our vengeance. Avenging angels will expose
A little long, but okay. Get rid of these ads here first, and having just these. Oh, I mean that works. You just one shot it there.
out of munitions.
Well done, brother.
Jump back with you.
We'll write you down in the holy notes.
Righteous.
The Bible of the chapter will hear about this. Your great sacrifice.
And have not yet found one.
All right.
Could not conquer.
Well, that's sorry. Don't worry about it, dude. But yeah, like you said, grenade launcher, double grenade launcher does sound pretty good. Hey, how's it going? What's up, Unknown? How you doing, dude? On the last thing, it has bolt rifle, so attack plus tech can do 2 times grenade launcher and siege. I'm just like, what was I saying about tactical? My goat got me back up. Tactical, generally, things like plasma incinerator are particularly good in him because of plasma boost. That won't be present on tech. It's kind of what I'm worried about. Also, his ammo economy perk, Emperor's Vengeance, solves ammo economy for like 90% of his weapons. So like things like the accuracy bolt rifle will be less entertaining to use for a lot of players, I fear. And the grenade launcher, I think the grenade launcher will hilariously enough be fine, even without spare power for most players. But as long as you can use it simultaneously with the Auspex for AoE,
This way, brothers.
could be really good. Techmarine is going to be hell squishy, less health and attack, and almost no damage reduction perks. He also has barely any knockback protection. Many of his best damage perks are also only up for 5 seconds. But they do reapply themselves. Guys, save your hatred for the balance of Techmarine until you've actually played it. Heal Thigh Mortals. Painful what? I think we can. I guess we can.
My body is cleansed.
Probably a 10 stims. Am I the only one that wants a spear? I really want to RP as a Minotaur and a Bulwark, dude. Why would you want to be a stinky bronze guy? They have an ugly. They're like Spartans but worse.
To become the barrel of a bolt.
Great sword on the way. Let's go. Excuse me. Is that confirmed, Fenrix?
Obstruction detected. Removal is required to commence.
Message received.
I'll say year 3 is pretty much confirmed coming as well.
Rubble is eliminated.
Alright, so you're not be lying to me. Asking 40k fans to hold their hatred until they experience something is odd. That is true. You know, for all the people that were crashing out about female custodies, my solution to this was just make all the female custodies Sydney Sweeney and they won't know what to do. We'll have an internal crisis. Confirmed, no. It says they do it over lightning claws. You know, on the note of the greatsword, I was just thinking about this today, that if they release that, one of the biggest users of greatswords in 40k are the Dark Angels with the Calibanite greatswords they have.
Remain calm.
Not hating it, I can't wait. Don't tell me that the turret didn't look like it was made of paper, though. As far as the turret's concerned, I would expect the turret's going to scale difficulty, because it doesn't make any sense for it not to.
Departmental Weapons Transfer 3639 loading complete. Manifest updated.
Do you think Techmarine will make fencing and balance a little better? I mean, it's going to be the same. That's how I see it. Someone say lightning claws? Yeah, they said it's not coming. That's what they said. You indeed heard lightning claws, but it was not what you wanted it to be. Many things in life are disappointing. A lack of lightning claws is simply one of them. Treva. I imagine we're going to see lightning claws and librarian. So the major, like, crazy shit that the Astartes have, expect that in Space Marine 3. Servo gun strikes, if I remember correctly, scale with difficulty. Interesting. So they don't scale with your actual PERK. That's unique. Or they don't scale with your secondary. I was actually curious how that worked, if they scale up your secondary or not. Claws are trash on tabletop just for Raven Guard Glazers. Dude, claws are way more popular than, like, greatswords are on tabletop. Alright. This isn't actually, this actually isn't the tabletop, it's a video game, it's true. Lightning claws could be supreme. The claws make you look like Wolverine, they definitely do. Heavy Pyro Blaster burn damage and heavy stance is effective in tactical version 10 stacks versus 12.
To your location. You have their attention. Deal with them swiftly. We will not get another shot at this.
How will you have a ranged weapon in the game if dual lightning claws? Please let me know. Well, you don't have to have dual lightning claws in the game. You can use one. Also an option. But Horus used to impale an Imperial Fist guy. Don't forget. Don't forget the cinematic, boys. Power Fist with underslung bolters / flamers. Change my mind. I mean, that sounds sick to me, dude. Underslung anything. There's something like very Punisher-esque. You know, I get John Bernthal energy from anyone underslinging a bolter or a gun of any kind. Slaneshi Tentacle Marine with the 100 bits. Always felt mad about Techmarine Space Marine 2 until I saw he has a tentacle. I mean, mechadendrites. Someone want to reskin him so Techmarine is a Slaneshi champion with a tentacle that can squeeze enemies until they explode, such come apart. Alright, I'm not reading the rest of this, dude. Slaneshi Tentacle Marine, you are exactly what you are exactly as we would expect you to be. Thank you for the 100 bits, though. You are profane. The gooning arms. Guy just says Blood Raven armor, it's fine. We should be able to change the red color of a Techmarine, right? You should, because they're not all... I mean, you can have a Crayola Marine in this game. I imagine you will. I imagine, like, every color will be available. It's just that, canonically, they are red on most classes, only because they are trained in the Cult of Mars. That's why they're red. They're part... I don't know, I forget if they're specifically part of the AdMech. They 100% go to Mars, though. That's where they train. Or the vast majority of them do. Techmarine should be red, unchangeable armor. I doubt it will be. Did we say teams? Let's see.
Offering prayer now. Emperor, guide the station to full charge.
Bonk. I wonder what first regard's been taken on a librarian class. Well, librarians aren't coming. They already know that. Unless they're not planned. They have no plans to add psychers into the game.
Avenging right down the sword.
I don't know why I took this. I'd probably do a librarian class, no cosmetics, just gameplay, just for fun. I mean, Psyker powers sound cool. I'm not going to add them, though. Power Fist with Understill and Bolter, they call the Gauntlets of Ultramar. Deathwatch Techmarine is also black, too. That's true. I mean, you can definitely change them around. I forget, did the Iron Hands have theirs as a red guy? Do you think they'll fix heroic melee weapons? Most of the melee heroics aren't better than the block variants. They're not supposed to be better. They're supposed to be side grades, and like that's already what 90% of them are. And they are side grades to the majority. Slaneshi Tentacle Marine. I think for the tier 1 sub. God damn, dude. Slaneshi Tentacle Marine. At it again. The tier 1 goon sub. Grey Knights. Do Grey Knights even... They must have Tech Marines. To some degree. I'm gonna make any sense of not to. They're primarily demon hunters, though. So what new heroic weapons do we think we can expect? There's guaranteed going to be 2 new melee weapons coming, and then 1 range. They didn't tell us which ones are going to be 4, but if there's a melee one, you can almost guarantee it is at least, very least, going to be for Power Axe, and beyond that, ranged weapon probably. Don't Grey Knights have Tech Priest? Should. Hey, it's over.
Deploy immediately.
Yes, brother.
Hey, we're done. We did it, boys. It's over.
Detonation in 5. Brace for shockwave.
Thanks, no problem, dude. Alright. That was fun. Okay, that's the extermination rank, all done, and we will now Alright guys, that's what we're gonna call it for now. I'll be back on later. Actually, I'll be back on tomorrow. But thank you guys for playing. That's people their weekly's done. On top, talk about Techmarine. That's pretty much everything I want to talk about on this stream. Take it easy, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the subs, the donos. Thank you for all the support over the past year, and you will see me tomorrow, potentially with the Techmarine early, if the PTS comes out tomorrow, and then after that, that's all. Does Overcharge for Thunderhammer for Assault class work? Yes, it does. Overcharge, in fact, works for the Thunderhammer on Assault. That is all for me, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm done with this game. It has been weeks been spammed with the N2 error on co-op ops. That's rough. I hope that is resolved for you. Take it easy, FTG. Take it easy, guys.